I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Amazing Spider-Man #1 relaunch in my pussy when I fuck some bitches tonight.
Almost. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
try again. Come on.
Try again. Don't you want to bang me tonight? Don't you want to dig me out? No? All right. Let's have some fun. Hey, everyone. I am MSK, a.k.a. Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Amazing Spider-Man #1 relaunch details. So, The Amazing Spider-Man is the flagship Marvel Comics series that is perennially their #1 seller. Currently, right now, Marvel Comics' best sellers are actually all of their alternate universe titles, but the primary three that are selling very well for them is Ultimate Spider-Man, which is, obviously being written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Marco Cicchetto. Then you have, Ultimate Wolverine, which I think is very, very good. I've read the first 2 issues. It's, I would say, definitely a banger so far. Can't wait to read the other issues that are coming out later on this year. Then you also have the Ultimates, which is, written by Denise Camp, and that one's been a perennially decent seller for them. Ultimate X-Men was selling a lot for a little bit there, but then that kind of fell off. Then you had Ultimate Black Panther, started out strong, but then the sales kind of started faltering on that, when it got like further and further into the later issues, actually. And Marvel Comics has did a very, very bad job with Peter Parker, not just in comic-wise, but also, like, I would tell you guys, like, MCU-wise as well. So the recent run by Zeb Wells ended, earlier last year, and then it was announced that Marvel Comics was going to do this thing called, like, the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, and then after that concludes, they would end up relaunching the Amazing Spider-Man flagship series that they have for Marvel Comics. To you guys know this, because I know you guys know this for Marvel Comics. They're rebooting it back to, guess what? A new #1 with legacy numbering. Oh my God, Marvel Comics relaunching and renumbering? That's not the Marvel Comics I know and love. The Marvel Comics I know and love consistently values their numbering based off the amount of customers that buy this shit repeatedly, and they invest their time and hard-earned money to get these comic books to be anywhere from like issue 1 to maybe like issue 80. But Marvel Comics, because I would just say this, I recommend checking out a video that we did on this very topic when it first got announced. Why would Marvel Comics relaunch The Amazing Spider-Man? It's not even a book that ever goes outside of like the top 10, and recently with the ICV2 charts, it was at its lowest 13, and that's with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. And some of you guys told me in my comment section that you guys thought that was trash. You guys told me that. I didn't read it, but you guys told me it was trash, right? And keep in mind, I'll read all that stuff eventually, but you guys said you didn't think it was that good. And keep in mind, a series you guys said is not even good is a book that's in the top 13. Why are they rebooting a book that is nothing out of like 15? That's just stupid. You're gonna get, what, a bump in #1 sales again, pushing it up to like number 2 or 3, and then what happens after that? Oh, it'll just stay there in the top 5 because it usually is a top 5, top 10 book. So then we actually got some details on this book, because I have the time of us doing this video. The Amazing Spider-Man #1 is out now, so I'll add it to my pull list and I'll end up reading it and reviewing it with like whoever is going to get it on the channel, whether it be Savage Dad or Last Comic Fan or Lunchbox Warren that I do the reviews with, right? So Joe Kelly, who's writing on Spider-Man. Joe Kelly wrote on Spider-Man before. You guys probably know Joe Kelly. He's the guy that wrote the Deadpool you guys all know and love, not Rob Liefeld, even though he created the character. So Joe Kelly ended up talking about what they're going to end up doing with Peter Parker in this Spider-Man series compared to Zeb Wells and what he did. And guess what's going to end up happening here with the series, guys? Because they're just addicted to Peter Parker never growing up. He's going to go even to a period before high school. Guess what? Here's their revolutionary idea for Marvel Comics in 2025. We're going to put Spider-Man in junior high school. That's their revolutionary idea. Stop the madness, Marvel. I thought Marvel Comics was the house of ideas. Now they're going to put Peter Parker in junior high because they just don't ever want this guy to grow up. Why can't he ever grow up? They see the sales for Ultimate Spider-Man, him being married with kids, very similar
They
to
don't care. They very
and Lois.
explicitly said they don't give a shit, and they'll never be together. At least Tom
Brevoort said, if you don't like it, you can always stop buying it. That's,
yeah,
Peter Parker,
that's
MJ
what we'll
were married. They, pretty much destroyed that with One More Day. They had Brand New Day. Oh, you guys know all the story. I said it in the previous video. Go and watch that. But here, I'll give you guys the details of what's going to go on with the Amazing Spider-Man #1 relaunch. So, Joe Kelly, we read his Deadpool and Wolverine WWE3 series. God, that was just terrible. That was just bad. That was awful. That was awful in every way. And then he wrote a little bit on 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, but he probably, I would assume he probably ran it down in that series because that was gonna be over anyway, and they were gonna relaunch with this. So here is the details on Amazing Spider-Man #1, the relaunch starting with this new one right here. Joe Kelly swings into Amazing Spider-Man #1 with a fresh start and big plans. The new era of Amazing Spider-Man begins on April 9th. Joe Kelly is no stranger to Spider-Man, including his work on The Amazing Spider-Man back in 2022. Now, Kelly gets a chance to return to the world of Peter Parker with an all-new Amazing Spider-Man #1 launching on April 9th. Speaking recently with AIPT, Kelly's enthusiasm was practically palpable. He says, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm very pumped," Kelly said. "Spider-Man has always been my favorite superhero, period. And I've had the chance to work on M before, but certainly not to kick off a series again and relaunch it at a #1. Joining him on the book are superstar artists Pepe Larraz and John Romita Jr., ensuring that the visual storytelling will be just as dynamic as the writing. Kelly comes to the book fresh off 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, which no one read, no one cared for, a bridge story leading into this relaunch that's been heaps of fun. But the question begs, what are his plans for his takeover, and what can we expect for Spider-Man under Kelly's guardianship? Keep in mind, this book can never prosper with the editors at Marvel anyway. At some point, when it let's just say it does well. Let's just hypothetically say it does well. You know why it's not going to matter? Because they will eventually get so jealous, Tom Brevoort and the other person that edits for the Spider-Man team, they'll end up shooting it in the foot, even if he does a good job. Let's say he does a good job, just to say, fuck it, that we might think he will do a good job. Marvel Comics will always shoot themselves in the foot, no matter what. The challenges of writing Spider-Man. With Amazing Spider-Man being a bi-weekly book, the workload is no small feat. Kelly was warned about the rapid pace, but has embraced the challenge. It is a challenge, Kelly said. And then, obviously, like you just said, it's the flagship guy. Besides being my personal favorite, who I just always want to do right by. He's the superhero. He's the best. Despite the daunting responsibility, Kelly trusts his instincts and prioritizes fun, a core element of Spider-Man's DNA. Even when it's dark or it's scary or intense or whatever, am I giving what I think is the most compelling story to the reader, Kelly said. Well, I hope you do. That's all I'm going to say. If this book fails at this point now, you know what Marvel Comics is going to do, guys? They're just going to relaunch it again. Digging into Peter Parker's past, one of the most intriguing aspects of Kelly's run is his focus on Peter Parker's past, specifically his pre-high school years. Yeah, because that's what we all want from Spider-Man now at 2025, for him to explore his pre-high school years, even though he's been in high school forever in Marvel Comics at various points. We definitely want that now. While Spider-Man's origin story has been told countless times, Kelly is fascinated by an earlier, largely unexplored period of Peter's life. But, God, this is so, oh my goodness.
Nope.
Like, why?
I already don't. I just, yeah. I don't care. It bores me. As I've said a million times before, like, Marvel has made it very clear to me that my opinion and what I am interested in seeing in Spider-Man doesn't matter. So
what in the
they're not selling me.
hell?
They're not bringing me back in. I'm not picking up the book. I have absolutely no interest.
Oh my God, Joe Kelly, Jesus Christ. Holy crap. I'm sort of fascinated with Peter as a young person, like pre-high school, Kelly said, because we haven't really spent any time with him at that time period. You know why no writers ever did that, Joe? Because no one cares. That's not a thing people care about. No one cares about that. That's such a weird thing to kind of focus on for a book that's supposed to basically be the flagship book as a starting point for their, what you said is the biggest superhero of Marvel. And I feel like we get a lot of our hand wiring, and I feel like we get a lot of our hard wiring at that age. Kelly believes this period was pivotal in shaping Peter's worldview. You hit that age and you're like 13, 14, and you start processing things differently, Kelly said. He lost his parents when he was younger, but what does that really mean to him as an adolescent? Does he act out? Is he more reserved? We always see him as the nerdy kid, but was he angry? Because when I go back and I read those early books, Peter was mad a lot. This emotional exploration will play a key role in Kelly's Amazing Spider-Man, shaping not just Peter's past, but how he handles challenges in the present. I'm just saying, guys, none of this sounds any sort of interesting. I'm sorry. Like, even if I were to keep reading this would just sound so unbelievably stupid. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
There's just no selling this book. The editorial staff, as I've said again, until they fire all the editorial involved with Spider-Man, X-Men, etc., all of Marvel's editorial is cleaned out and replaced. I'll never be reading a Marvel comic again, and they're doing nothing here to sell me on it. And Brevoort already told everybody, go buy something else if you don't like this. And you know what we do? We go and we buy this because this is what people want to read.
Yep, that's exactly what people want to read.
Spider-Man. Nobody wants it. Nobody's going to pick it up. No, it's underselling it. And then we'll go back. I'll buy this, and I'll buy it. I will buy them used, so I don't have to give Marvel money for them. Oh, but yeah, no interest because they've literally said they don't care about their fans. So why read Amazing Spider-Man? There's no reason to. Frankly, people just shouldn't, unless you're a fan and you feel this applies to you or the book is for you. But the editorial doesn't care about you either.
Yeah, it's true. Guys, I'll be honest here. I usually kind of read those articles generally kind of like all the way through, but like that's the premise. The premise is Peter before high school. Like, how in the world is that interesting? Like, how does that get me excited to read Spider-Man at all? I mean, I'm gonna get it. I'll read it. Maybe I'll see if it's anything worthwhile, but that just kind of sounds like I just kind of read this in a trade whenever you kind of do them for the series. Whenever the trades are out, that's what you kind of, read them for. And that's kind of what the series is going to probably end up being for a lot of people, unless you're just a really hardcore collector of the Amazing Spider-Man series. I know there's a lot of hardcore collectors on that title because it's a very, very popular title. It's the biggest title, obviously in Marvel comics, but, I don't know. To me, I don't even get this though. You're collecting Amazing Spider-Man titles for what reason? Like, to sell to who? Like, you collect them for yourself? You're not selling them, So, yeah, that's just me. Do you have any closing thoughts on this, actually?
No, just I frankly don't care about mainline Marvel at all.
Yeah. Damn.
They don't care about they don't want they've very clearly stated they don't want my money or any other fans like me's money, so I don't give it to them because their books it's just not good. Mm-hmm. There's just nothing interesting in it, nothing engaging, quite boring. So, meh.
Scott,
I can live without it.
Yep, that's just kind of how I feel about this relaunch too. To a certain degree, it's like, man, the description is so unbelievably bad. Like, goddamn, Marvel, could you not? Oh, good Lord. And this is something that they need to be a big hit after essentially having that long series go with Zeb Wells, This is a series that you need to do well after the disaster that happened for Zeb Wells writing the book for so long. But apparently they don't want to learn. Joe Kelly's like, yeah, Spider-Man, junior high school. That's our premise. That's what we're going with. Sure. Fuck it. So, yeah. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace.